I am not perfect, but I'm still showing up, and that's enough. Better clock that. Yes, I am not perfect.
Painted asphalt whispers a soulful chill. Clouds pass slow like memories that fade. Walking through the midnight, chasing dreams we made. Echo of your laugh, now a ghost in the shade.
On our episode today, Life Unfiltered with Melanin King, we're going to talk about how I am becoming and the honest truth about where I am right now. We're going to have very honest, vulnerable and raw conversations about genuinely where I stand as at this moment. I am pretty sure there's somebody out there who probably thinks I have it all figured out. And I'm just here to tell you that in this life, there's no manual and we are all trying. We're all pulling strings together and see how far we can go. Yeah, absolutely. So this is one of those days or one of those evenings when life forces you to check in with yourself. I'm basically doing that. So this episode is not scripted at all. It's not flashy. I'm not here to show cars. I'm not here to talk about watches and what. It's just me being honest about where I am and what I've learned. Maybe there's somebody out there who might be able to relate to what I'm going to talk about today. So onto the first part without wasting so much time. Where I've been emotionally. Wow, that's a very good point to start. Where I've been emotionally. I've been emotionally down, if that's correct word to use, in the sense that I've been feeling like I'm not doing enough, like where is my life headed? What can I do to better myself? So emotionally, I have felt like I am not doing enough. And it started at the beginning of the year. I think I said something initially, where I used to work previously, where not where I'm working right now. We used to work on contracts. I thank God I'm finally done with those contract things. And earlier this year, we were not contracted yet. The 1st of January came, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. We actually our contracts came to be renewed on 15th. And before they were actually renewed on 15th of January, there was a lot of fear that already been sold to us that, you guys might not be coming back to work. And here I had just moved into that house that I moved into, the 2-bedroom house. And I was asking myself, now how am I going to survive here? How am I going to live here? So this thing really took a toll on me. And I remember again, I had attended an interview somewhere in Kakamega. And let me tell you guys, before I attended that interview, I fasted, I prayed about the interview. And I was telling God the whole time that if this is meant for me, then bring it to me. And again, when I was praying and fasting, I was telling God again that I feel like it is about time that, Lord, you do something for me. You understand? You feel me, right? And then I prayed and prayed and prayed. And funny thing, let me tell you guys, God communicated. I just didn't get it, but imagine God communicated. There was a guy, this is a story I need to tell you guys. But right now I'm happy because I'm shooting this. I'm a bit okay. I'm not even a bit, I'm okay. I'm happy. I am stable. I'm okay. I'm happy. I no longer have job insecurities. God did something great. I now have a permanent and pensionable job courtesy of God, manzi. I thank the Lord for that. So emotionally right now I'm good. But a while back, 4 months ago, I was 4 months before now, because I got this job in April. So 4 months before now, where I was, honestly speaking, was not in the right space. Because again, I got this betting company and then they had promised me heaven that even at the end of every month I'd be getting money from them. I was to be salaried for the next whole 1 year. And then it comes to the end of the month, they're telling me, we are sitting down, we are trying to discuss, or we are coming up with strategies, or we are still having you on the hook, we will, and then a month came, nothing, and they had promised me heaven, they had given me a whole merchandise, they gave me an umbrella, t-shirts, what reflectors for me to work for them, only for me finally not to work for them. And guess what even happened later on? The government comes and says that influencers / content creators are not supposed to be out there advertising betting companies. It has been banned. You cannot do it. So For a second, I was like, oh my God, this is taking such a wrong turn. But they usually say just when things are when you're about to hit rock bottom, that's when God usually comes. Because they were giving this directive around April, and that same month, the same month of April, is when the Lord decided to do something great for me. So it was so hard for me, like hard to the point where even getting tokens, like buying tokens alone was so difficult, was hard. So and funny thing is, the whole time I was going through all this, is nobody knew about it. Not my parents, not my friends, nobody. Not even people who were so close to me like Belden. They didn't know anything about this. I dealt with it with myself, by myself. Again, the way life has taught me, or based off how I've lived my life since childhood, is struggle with things alone. Like, fight the fight alone until you win. It's not a good strategy. I'm trying to find a way on how I can be able to maybe even share with friends, talk to family, or talk to close people, so that I can lighten up this burden, And like I'm saying, I used to wake up every day, I would still take my phone, I would still shoot a video, I would still talk out there on TikTok and stuff like that, and nobody would understand, nobody would even know that this guy is actually going through something. Yeah, so honestly, so here is also something else I was supposed to talk about. Touch on what it feels like to keep showing up while still figuring out. The problem with that is you burn out. Eventually you burn out because you're trying to put up a face where you're acting like you're okay, you're acting like your life is good, nothing shakes your life. In fact, instead of you going down, you're actually going up. It was not easy. It is not easy. It was not easy. It's not easy at all. And then if you have set a standard out there where people look at you and think that you have your life all together, you have your life all figured out. Trust you me, even coming to tell somebody that by this 95 shillings to buy Kibiriti, usually it is so hard. It usually becomes really hard. But I thank God because, I don't know, somehow, somewhat, we are in July right now, we're in the 7th month of this year. And how I have been able to survive, I don't even know. I've clearly lived through the word of God that says that He's the one who feeds the birds. So basically, it's the Lord who has been feeding me. But I've also had a supportive system, like other friends like Emmanuel and stuff like that. And that's how I've been able to sail through. But let me tell you, it has not been easy. Acting okay when you're not okay, waking up every day to showing up, and still, there are moments I would even go to church and then I'm supposed to contribute money, and I honestly, genuinely do not have the money. It was really hard. It was really, really hard. And then funny thing is, the whole time I was thinking about, not even thinking, the things I was doing behind the curtains, the things that, like we were shooting the podcast. Remember, we were shooting the podcast, and then I was shooting the videos I was doing on TikTok, and here I was trying to really gain recognition from brands without really saying I want this from brands. So, putting in the work, trying to build something when nobody is noticing it, nobody is appreciating you. Let me tell you something. When you tell somebody that I see what you do and I love what you do, and keep doing what you're doing, usually it can take you very far. But people choose not to tell you that. I don't know. I don't know if it's them just waiting for you to succeed and become successful and be like, oh, I always knew you'll be successful. I always knew you'll get somewhere in life, and that's human beings for you. So sometimes I feel like building things with my bare hands while I'm also carrying the weight of 100 expectations. Can anyone relate? Yeah, actually, that statement that I've said right now is something that has also bothered me for quite some time, where I feel like I'm building things with my bare hands while I'm also carrying the weight of 100 expectations. Usually, I have so much expectation. I think in the previous video I also said I'm usually very overly ambitious. And the fact that I can be very overly ambitious makes me to have very high expectations. So when I'm building something using my bare hands, sometimes when my expectations are not met, it takes me down. I always feel like giving up. And again, one of the things I've been struggling with, I'm one of those people, if I don't see results, I feel like giving up. Yeah. But what I am learning, this is the part 2 of this conversation, what I am learning, because yes, those are life struggles that I've gone through, but what exactly am I learning? One, not everything you outgrow is a loss. Some things are lessons. Yeah. Not everything you outgrow is a loss. Some things are actually a lesson, and that is actually true. Sometimes we love to count losses as opposed to sometimes the lessons we learn out of those things. So you need to ask yourself, was that really a loss, or was it really a lesson for me to learn so that next time I don't repeat the same thing? And then the other second lesson that probably I need to share with you is purpose doesn't always feel good. Sometimes it feels heavy. I won't even lie about this, honestly speaking. Yeah, purpose doesn't always feel good. Sometimes it feels heavy. That's absolutely true. You are allowed to be the blueprint while still building yourself. That's lesson number 3, that you are allowed to be the blueprint while still building yourself. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. I also think that I had to be healed, whole, and perfect to help others. Now I know I just need to be real, period. Absolutely. And then, so those are some of the lessons that I actually learned. Those are 3 lessons. I don't know if they're actually beneficial to you. And then there's the third part of this conversation. My message to anyone feeling lost is you don't have to figure it all together at a go. Some things, like we said, don't count them as losses, count them as lessons. Don't give up yet. Just when you're about to give up, remember where you were yesterday. I said this the other day at Y254 TV, that anytime you want to give up, anytime you want to feel like, I'm tired of this life, try and remember 2 years ago, 3 years ago, where were you? Once you're able to answer yourself on where you were 2-3 years ago, that should be enough motivation to keep you propelling. You don't have to have it all figured out. Nobody has it all figured out. Not the presidents, not the scientists, not whoever in this world. Nobody has it all figured out. That's why every morning we all have to wake up and go out there and try look out for something. So you just need to know one thing, that you have to keep going. Keep going and learn the art of gratitude. Just appreciate what you have at the moment. That is another thing I have struggled with for the longest time, that I could be praying for something, and once I have it, I forget to appreciate that this is something I really, really wanted, and finally I have it. I tend to focus more on now wanting the next thing without even focusing back on this is something I really wanted and now I have it. So another thing you need to put up in your mind is you are not behind, you are not too late, you're just becoming and right there with you. You hear that? That you are not behind, you're not too late, you're just becoming, and I'm right there with you. Put that in your mind and work with that every single day. Okay? Good. So in our next episode, I'm sure you've watched this video up to that point. In our next episode, we'll be talking about choosing yourself without guilt. Do you want to be part of this amazing conversation? If yes, please hit my DM. Let me know what you think about today's episode. You can also follow me on all my social media platforms. That is Melanin King on TikTok, Melanin King on Instagram. And like I said at the intro of this video, I am not perfect, but I'm still showing up, and that's enough. Okay? Yeah. Until the next time, catch you. Bye.